Rectify the following errors. The first entry is sale of goods to Mohan for rupees 10,000 was recorded as sold to Ram. That is, we sold goods to Mohan, but we actually recorded them as sold to Ram. Now students, again the same thing. We'll make the rectified entry in the journal, but this space we are using for workings. We'll first make a wrong entry. That is, we'll identify what wrong has been actually done in this entry. Now, goods were sold to Mohan. So, correct entry should be Mohan account debited to sale. It should be Mohan to sales and the amount would be 10,000. But what we have done here was that we have recorded them as sold to Ram. So, we have recorded the entry as Ram debited to sales 10,000. Now students, understand what wrong has been done here. Ram should not have been debited, but wrongly he has been debited. So this debit effect in the account of Ram should be cancelled. Mohan's account should have been debited but was not debited. So this debit effect should be shown in the account of Mohan. Coming to sales, sales should originally be credited and it was credited here. So there is no wrong in the sales account. That means there is no error in the sales account. It should have been credited and was credited. So the only error that now remains is that Ram should not have been debited, but he was wrongly debited, whereas Mohan should have been debited and this effect is not appearing in his books of accounts or in his account. So we'll do this entry as Mohan was not debited, debit him now. Mohan debited. Ram was wrongly debited. So to cancel the effect of this debit, we will credit Ram. So the entry would now be Mohan to Ram. Once this entry is passed with an amount of 10,000 rupees, the effect of this error would be nullified. Again, repeating the same thing, Mohan should have been debited but was not debited, so debit Mohan now. Ram was wrongly debited, so to cancel the effect of this debit, we have credited Ram's account here with the same amount of 10,000 rupees. So now this error stands rectified. The narration would be being sales to Mohan wrongly recorded as to Ram, now rectified. You must mention now rectified so as to show that this is a rectification entry. Now students, coming to the second entry. The second error that is reflected here is rent of rupees 8,000 paid has been recorded in the landlord's account. Again the same thing, I am using WE for wrong entry and CE for correct entry. Correct entry. Now, we paid a rent of rupees 8,000 which has been recorded in the landlord's account. Once we pay rent, the entry would be rent account debited to cash. Rent account debited to cash, rupees 8,000. This should have been the correct entry. But what we have done is, we have wrongly debited it through landlord's account. So we have done is landlord debited to cash 8,000. Again, let us identify what is wrong that in the entry that we have done. We should have debited rent account. But what we have done is wrongly debited the landlord's account, whereas the effect in the cash account is correct. Cash should have been credited and in the wrong entry also it has been credited. So there is no rectification required in the cash account. But what about the rectification in this? The rent account should have been debited. So let us debit it now. Rent account debited 8,000 rupees. The landlord should not have been debited. So just to cancel this effect, we will credit landlord now. To landlord, the amount would be 8,000. The narration in this case would be being rent wrongly recorded in landlord account, now rectified. So students, just to recall the process that we had understood earlier, in any kind of rectification that we undertake, we must actually cancel out the wrong effect of any entry that we have done, and then we must make sure that the correct effect is shown. So in this case, there was a wrong effect in the landlord account which was cancelled by this credit, and there was a rent account which should have been debited. So we made this effect correctly by debiting the rent account here.